if you look at your website's conversion rate, you'll see that it hovers around 3%. Okay. Now, there are two ways to go about fixing your conversion rate problem. The first way is the dumb way, which is to say that 100 minus 3 is 97%. 97% of people are not buying my products. I'm going to go after all of them. The smart solution is to go after a very specific sliver type of audience, which we call healthy skeptics. Now, healthy skeptics have very unique properties. These are people that recognize that they have a problem, which means they have a motivation to try and solve it. They recognize that there are experts out there whose advice they need to actually take in order to make that progress. So they recognize that they need help and that there's help available and that they need to take action on that help. And they are willing to pay to solve this pain. So this is the very unique qualities that healthy skeptics have. Now, if you can imagine, this is a very interesting audience. Now, the other thing to know about healthy skeptics is that they're not dummies. They're not just gonna, just because those three criteria have been met doesn't mean they'll magically pull out their credit cards. They need to be persuaded. They need to have reasonable, they need to be reasonably convinced. Now, there's another important detail, which is there are two types of healthy skeptics. There are people that we call skimmers who like to get a summarized version of something. They don't need to listen to your long-winded explanation for why your product is amazing and stuff like that, but they need a summarized version of that pitch. These are skimmers. The other group are diggers. These are people who really do want that long-winded explanation. They really kind of enjoy those kind of technical details. So there are these two types of people that come to your page. The challenge now becomes is how do I communicate with the with this digger? Because if we were to take all of the content that a digger wants and just place it on the page, the problem with that is that it now makes it cumbersome for the skimmer. Remember, the skimmer doesn't like this super detailed explanation. And so there's a navigational challenge there. The other benefit is that, well, the other idea is that if we can kind of show this content as a pop-up, so that means the user is still on the page, but they're seeing this like private room, if you will, with a simple distraction-free background. So it's a white background with text in the foreground. That actually is very conducive for a digger. The other benefit of this method where you click on something and a pop-up appears is that it allows me as a marketer to track and see what percentage of people discovered it. If very few people discover it, then is that element even on the page? If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did the tree even fall? And I think it's really, really important for that discovery rate to be high enough. So we typically like to aim around 10%. So anyway, I've given this entire exposition so you have context on the mechanism that I'm going to share with you. And the mechanism I'm going to share with you is how do we tease out, how do we kind of pull out the diggers, how do we pull out the healthy skeptics, the diggers, without disturbing the sales that are happening. Because remember, if your conversion rate is at 3%, 3% of people are actually buying your sales pitch, whatever's there on the page, and are being sold by it. I don't want to distract those people. So I don't want to change the layout of the page. So I want to have these very gentle nudges that I can use to pull out these diggers. And then I can take them to this private room where I can give them a completely different presentation that is designed for what they want. So let's look at this example. This is a made up example, but it's for a typical product page. And just pay attention to the layout. So there's a description, then there's a little explanation, but over here there's a link that says, why buy from us? And then if you ignore that, right, if you were to, for whatever reason, not click on it, and you scroll down, you'll notice there's another band that we're showing across the entire page. And here we say, this isn't your ordinary cleanser, see why this needed to exist. Okay, so this is the second reference. The third reference is we have a little block over here, and then we have copy over here, and then it says discover the full story. So again, the user doesn't know this, but these are all nudges. And then over here, there's this image, there's this text, and there's a link over here. Here's why. So not all cleansing toners are created equal. Here's why. What else do we have? We actually have a few more links. We've covered the reviews, and over here we have a link that's actually designed to get them to discover our sales pitch, and this is for the diggers. In fact, there's even a little bell icon over here, and if you click on this, This is when you click on this, we actually show you the sales pitch. Now, the thing that people the consumer doesn't know is that all of these links take you to the same pop-up. So what we've done in a very clever way is we've massively increased the visibility. Imagine if you have one call to action on a page, and if you add 5 more call to actions, how much more visible they would be. But what we've done is we've done it smartly, because all of those call to actions, and I'll show you this, are on the page conditionally. And what that means is that if you click on the first link, then the remaining 4 links or 5 links become invisible. If you click on the second link, the remaining 3 links become invisible. So does the first link. So only one link, the link that you click on, is visible. Everything else is made invisible. So what the benefit of that is that if you were to have clicked over here, then you won't be seeing this message here again. Let's now show you what happens when you click on it. When you click on it, this is when we show our pop-up. And if you go on mobile, you'll see it's actually a full screen overlay. This, in a very simple way, is our mechanism. So what we're doing is we're placing all these nudges on the page, and depending on where people are paying attention, because we know that 87% of what's on a page people actually ignore. So there's only a 17% or 13% chance that they'll notice it. So in order to increase those odds, I'm showing it repeatedly. Now let me show you what happens when you click on it. So you notice I clicked on why buy from us. When I clicked on why buy from us, this link, this banner was taken away. This link was taken away. This message is here, but the link is taken away. In the review section, we have the message, but the link that was opening up the sales pitch was taken away. And this is the mechanism. So I hope this gives you some clarity on our process. And what I'm going to do is actually in the video, in the comment section, I'm going to include a link to a page where this exact same page is available. We call this our demo page. You can actually go there. You can click on the links. You can actually see how it works. And not just that, when you activate the pop-up, you'll actually notice there are multiple flavors of the pop-up. We don't have just one formula. We have a bunch of variety of options. So I hope you find this useful.